developments as the search continues for little Leona Wright in Anderson County. WIFF News 4's Patrick Hushin is live and local in Anderson tonight with the latest. Patrick.
Gabby, I'm out here at the Edgewood Square Apartments where all of this started nearly a week ago. It's very peaceful out here right now, but it's been a very tough week, as one could imagine. Just this morning, the sheriff's office confirmed that DSS officials did come here. They took custody of Leona Wright's 3-year-old sister who was staying here. They also took custody of her 6-year-old brother who was not here at the apartment complex, but staying with their grandmother. Also, according to the Anderson County Family Court, the mother's boyfriend, Travis Jones, who was taken into custody a week ago on an unrelated charge, has been sentenced for late child support payments. He will serve 120 days in jail or pay a $1,000 fine. Now, all of this comes as deputies say they have been given inconsistent information in the investigation into the disappearance of Leona. Yesterday, sheriff's investigators said they believed early on that the reported circumstances of the baby's disappearance were not accurate. Investigators now say they know that the baby's 3-year-old sibling did not open the front door, allowing Leona to crawl outside, as was originally reported. Also, it has not been confirmed that the drive-by shooting that occurred here at this same apartment complex had any connection whatsoever to the missing child case, but according to the sheriff's office, that case is still active with no arrests. So Gabby, Nigel, a lot happening here in this complex in only a week. And just behind me in this dry creek bed, it's still matted down. There's traces of where people have trounced through looking for Leona Wright. It's a testament of how hard this search has been, and it's hard to imagine that they would still be looking for her. But again, new tonight, DSS officials have taken custody of Leona Wright's 3-year-old and 6-year-old siblings. Patrick Hushin, WIFF News 4, live here in Pendleton tonight.
The mother's boyfriend appeared in court this morning. Officers say these unrelated charges happened after Kiara Sullivan, Travis Jones, and the baby's sibling all tested positive for drugs. WIFF News 4's Allie Miles was in court today to hear what the judge had to say.
Kiara Sullivan and Travis Jones both appeared before a judge here in Anderson County this morning. They're both being charged with unlawful neglect of a child. This has nothing to do with Sullivan's missing 1-year-old Leona. That baby has been missing since early June. These charges came after Sullivan, Jones, and Sullivan's 3-year-old tested positive for cocaine, methamphetamine, and THC.
Any questions?
I don't know about no jail. I don't know.
Do you understand about the ways you can meet your bond?
She broke down in tears this morning after talking to the judge. Her bond has been set at $5,000 a surety and about $1,100 recognizance. She'll be back in late July. Jones's bond was set at $15,000. He'll be back in August.
You also have the right within the next 10 days to request what's called a preliminary hearing.
None of Sullivan's family was willing to talk to us after the bond hearing, but an activist did tell a judge that Sullivan was not a flight risk. Nobody stayed on Jones's behalf. As far as the baby's disappearance, anyone with information is asked to contact Anderson County Sheriff Department. Allie Miles, WIFF News 4 in Anderson County.
We were on scene a year ago at the Edgewood Square Apartments shortly after baby Leona's family found out she disappeared.
So if anybody got it, just please, just bring her back.
Deputies say Leona was being looked after by Travis Jones, her mother's live-in boyfriend. At the time, officials thought the baby might have crawled or walked out of the apartment, but that was ruled out.
This is one of those cases that's going to take a little while.
Sheriff John Skipper joined the crew the next day and searched a garbage site for evidence, but came up empty. Leona's mother, Kiara Sullivan, continued her plea for help.
I just want her back. Back to me and my family. That's all that matters to me.
Sullivan was arrested days after Leona went missing. The baby's other 2 siblings were taken into DSS custody. Deputies say one of them tested positive for cocaine, meth, and THC. Sullivan's boyfriend was also charged with unlawful neglect in that case and is now serving time in prison.
We need closure.
to go on with our life.
Many vigils have been held and flyers were passed out. A billboard was even put up in Anderson to help find the child.
I mean, it's kind of gut-wrenching. We want to find Leona. We still have hope that she is alive. We want resolution, as do the parents and the family.
Right now, investigators are working 2 leads that came in after a community event recently held on Leona's 2nd birthday. Corey Davis, WYFF News 4 in Anderson County.
News, it's 5 years. That's how long a lot of people have been looking for answers on the disappearance of this baby girl. Leona Wright vanished from that Cherry Street apartment in 2015. She was with her mom's boyfriend, Travis Jones, when she vanished. Well, now we know what's happened. Jones was arrested last night and charged with homicide by child abuse. The Anderson County Sheriff held a news conference this afternoon announcing everything in this case, including identifying a second suspect we learned last night was also arrested and charged. Fox journalist Carrie Weimer is there with this news conference, and I know a lot's been happening, Tori.
Yeah, Carrie joins us live now in Anderson at the sheriff's office with the latest on this case and, of course, an emotional day for Leona's family.
It really was. You know, Sheriff McBride announced today that Travis Jones' brother, Donnie Jones, is also going to face charges in this case. Not long after that, I spoke with Leona Wright's family outside of the sheriff's office, and they told me that even though this provides some justice, there still's no closure on what happened to their precious baby girl. On June 6, 2015, Leona Wright vanished from the Edgewood Square apartments in Pendleton after being left in the care of Leona's mother's then-boyfriend, Travis Jones. Jones is now in custody, charged with homicide by child abuse. Sheriff McBride said today that not a lot of information would be released at this time because of the sensitivity of this case.
Recently, this lengthy and thorough investigation yielded sufficient evidence to support the facts of the case to a magistrate to obtain warrants. With a heightened sense of urgency, deputies and detectives were able to effect the arrest of Travis Jones on July 8, 2020, yesterday evening. He is currently at the ACDC awaiting a bond hearing.
Travis Jones' brother, Donnie Roderick Jones, is currently in jail on unrelated charges, but Sheriff McBride says he will also be served in this case.
Donnie has 2 warrants that will be served upon his release from the South Carolina Department of Corrections, and they are accessory after the fact and destruction or desecration of human remains.
Leona Wright's family says when the sheriff's department told them Leona was deceased, it was news they expected but did not want to hear.
Hard, but after so period of time, then she ain't here no more, you know what I'm saying?
Tracy Fant, a community activist that has been spearheading the continued fight for justice for Leona's family, says this is still far from over.
We're going to continue to fight until complete justice is served for baby Leona Wright.
I forgave him. I've been forgave him, but he need to tell us what did he do with my grandbaby, because she was innocent. Very beautiful, innocent baby. And we needed this closure. It ain't what we wanted, but we gotta settle for what we got.
Now, the sheriff said that his department will continue to cooperate with the solicitor's office to ensure that justice is brought to this case. Back to you guys.